Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Cartoon Cookbook. It's a little show where we try to conceptualize a cartoon from start to finish. I'm Nick, this is Brett, and Al's around here somewhere. If you're new to this specific video, this is a part 2. This is a continuation of our previous cookbook that we did that we'll link in the description below. But to summarize in this little episode, we got our mid-mannered IT guy named John Searcher. And John is known in this world as the Gatekeeper. He's a man who makes sure, his one duty is to make sure that people across the multiverse have pornography, or else they're doomed to destroy the world. These people, if they don't get their porn, they're doomed to destroy the world. And on this uneventful day in John Searcher's life, his internet goes out, thus creating a snowball of cataclysmic events that lead to the destruction of the human race. Where we last left off, we were starting to see the humans turn into these demonic forces after they were not able to get their fixture of pornography for the day. So, Brett, did I summarize that all right?
Yeah, that sounded pretty good. So where are we at now? The monsters are turning, right? The monsters,
yes.
The people are turning into monsters, and we got one right there.
Yes. So the way to kind of move this story forward is we know that John's ultimate goal, obviously, is to get the internet back on and get pornography back in the hands of humanity so they can turn back into their normal selves and stop becoming these demons.
Sure.
We are trying to keep this grounded in a way where we said this is just something that happens to the both of us. Our internet goes out. You people watching, your internet probably has gone out. You could probably relate to John. You got that modem light that's blinking you're trying to connect the internet back on. We noticed that John has never gone through this situation before, so he goes to he follows the wrong cord and he unplugs it, thus making his entire computer go dark, which is mistake number 1. I'm thinking that to move the story ahead, he needs to plug that plug he needs to figure out that he plugs that back in and at least the computer's back on, but he still doesn't have the internet. So he's still got to figure out what's going on in that situation. Does that make sense?
Wait, so you're saying that he just needs to plug the cable back in order to get there?
The cable is to the computer.
Yes.
So he accidentally unplugs the cable, which is a step in the wrong direction. But we don't want to make him he's not that unintelligent. He knows how to run a computer. Thus, he knows that he has to plug that back in order to at least turn the computer back on.
Okay. All right. I thought all right, sure. I mean, I feel like we kind of, he was so stupid in the initial one. So like, I feel like it's like, it's kind of weird. We went from
He
went to the cord and he's like, "What is happening? I don't know how to turn it." So
you're right. No. You're 1,000% actually right. Let's continue off based off the creature that you just made.
Okay.
This demon creature. So, John needs to realize what's happening in the world. So he needs to see on his TV that chaos is ensuing around the world.
I like that. Yeah.
So, based off.
So he just has like maybe a TV's going on in his office at all times.
Yeah.
And the breaking news.
Yeah. Because we both have computers in our office. I mean, not computers, TVs. Got a little something going on the side while you're giving it to the man. But yeah, there needs to be some type of breaking news segment that shows like cities on fire, like these demon things are are going through the streets and basically destroying the world. And then, yeah, that's good. Brett's, if you can see, Brett's got a little city on fire, breaking news television, and this only adds to John's panic. Like now he's seeing, you know, the lore behind this is that John comes from a line of gatekeepers. His father did this. His father before him did this. His father before him did this.
This is really this is a big responsibility getting porn to the world. Yeah.
Yes. So you know, John is a little aloof because he doesn't know how to turn the internet on, probably because that's never happened before in his life. But he is aware that what happens if porn is in the hands, and he's seeing the results of this. Like, holy shit, stuff's going down. But to kind of not really tie it up, but to make it hit close to home, after he sees the breaking news, he needs to go to his window and kind of like reveal the curtains and see that the chaos is happening right outside his door. What do you think about that?
Sure. So, I mean, that's kind of just doubling down on what just happened. Like he revealed that the world's crumbling, so he runs over to his window, opens up the shades, and the world is crumbling. I mean, I feel like it's redundant, but I mean, as far as the story goes, of course, let's double down on it. I like it. It's nice.
Or we could actually do so. If you remember correctly, in the last episode, I said that we need to introduce a real person, someone that really exists in the real world, and we could tear this person, the traits and everything, the tropes of them apart. But someone needs to appear at his door, you know, like fucking Will Arnett or fucking Akeem Olajuwon, some real life figure.
Who did you do? I have no idea who the fuck you just said, but yeah.
Will Arnett or Akeem Olajuwon?
Akeem Olajuwon? I have no idea who that is.
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Yeah, dude, I have no idea who that is.
People, this is showing how big of a nerd Brett is.
Dude,
that
Will Arnett and this is a sports player. Yeah, no. I feel like there's a lot of people out there who are in my boat, you know?
Tom Brady comes to the door. You know who that is, Brett?
Yeah, the child kisser. He kisses his.
You saw one thing.
He kisses his child on the lips, dude. That's weird.
No, let's. So the real world figure thing is so we can. Here's the thing. Brett has a very Brett. Why don't you explain why you hate bringing in like real world people?
I don't,
and then I'll explain where I'm trying to get at.
I don't dislike. Well, all right.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Hate's the wrong word.
I'm not a fan of bringing in real world people because it takes you out of the story. As far as I'm concerned, it's like you are in this fictional world, and then you have
like notions of what people are supposed to be.
It doesn't necessarily kill the story, but it will definitely affect it. If you leave the world that you're creating, in a story, you're trying to navigate people's emotions. You're trying to change those emotions based on what you want to happen. But as soon as you introduce a character that someone has opinions on, it's difficult to do that.
So the main reason that I wanted to do this is for an exercise of our for our viewers. So of course there are some people who sit in your boat, Brett, and who are like, I will never do that. But there will probably be situations in your life where you're given the task of incorporating a real world character. It could be down the line, but maybe you work for someone and it's like Seth Rogen and they're like, hey, you got to put Seth Rogen in your cartoon. So the challenge is to kind of get that person and tear down what we know and put our version of that character in our show.
Sure. So who do you want? Do you want me to pick someone or do you want... you can pick someone. Who do you want to do?
You want me to pick someone?
I mean, it doesn't matter to me. Who do you want?
I was thinking maybe we do someone like... who's like a Johnny Knoxville type, just someone we know that we both enjoy. We have a common We know who that person is and what they're known for.
So Johnny Knoxville? I mean, I don't know.
Can you draw me a little quick sketch of what you think Johnny Knoxville would look like?
Yeah, how does he look? He's got like
That's also the thing, is
spiky hair.
I want us to be able to, like, so I can't say someone like Akeem Olajuwon, because you obviously don't know who that is, and you don't know any perceived notions about this guy. But I think you can draw. We both know Johnny Knoxville. We both love the shit that he's in. Oh yeah, this is looking good. Looking good. I think this is a good. This is the way we're going. We're introducing Johnny Knoxville into this little cartoon. And it's just a cameo. You don't have to. He's not going to be a main character, but I think it would be funny if Johnny Knoxville was his neighbor and he goes and pounds on the door, and he's like, "John, the porn's out." You know.
Yeah. Like, okay.
I need some porn. And so that's a kind of exercise for those watching and listeners is, try and write a character in. Try to write something, test your limits, push your boundaries.
That's kind of weak. He's just the only thing I can remember. But I feel like I need reference, dude. No.
I want your mental reference of what you think he is. He always got like a collared T-shirt on. I'm assuming, or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. That looks like Johnny Knoxville. That's Brett's version of Johnny Knoxville. I like it.
Okay, he's just.
But
like
I could see him be like a standard dude.
Yeah, but the spiky hair. That's about it. That's the only fucking quality on here that I added. That is a weak fucking Johnny Knoxville. All right. So what is happening with Johnny?
Johnny. So in our last scene, we see that John that sucks too. Johnny Knoxville and John. They're both John guys.
Dude, double Johns. Fuck it. Just keep going with it.
So John, our gatekeeper is realizing the chaos that's happening outside. All of a sudden, he hears a pounding at his door, and it's his neighbor, Johnny Knoxville, basically showing up to tell him, you got to help me. Like, they can feel the demons sprouting. So maybe you could, maybe you can draw one half of him like Two-Face style, like he's slowly morphing into some type of demon creature. Can you do that for me?
Maybe he's got the spout right here. Maybe we'll just have like a monster coming out of his.
Ooh, yeah. So the narrative push. So sometimes you always want to introduce a character that kind of pushes your narrative forward. Instead of a filler. The forward of this is John is a fan of Johnny Knoxville. He doesn't want to see him turn into this gigantic sloth beast filled with porn energy. So it's kind of motivating him to get the internet back on. We should also ramp up the stakes here. Okay. We should ramp up the stakes a little. Oh, that's good. We said that we wanted to make this kind of like in this not really fantasy, but just otherworldly. Add chaos to this. So I think one of the easiest ways to ramp up destruction is some type of giant vortex appears in the sky, and it's just starting to suck the world up. That's good. He needs to say something like, "Help, John. I need porn."
Help, John. From one John to another John.
There you go. That's some good dialogue there. Help, John, from one John to another John. And then can we repurpose the gatekeeper scream, and the one where he's like bent over and he's just yelling like, "No, not you, Johnny."
Yes.
For some reason, Johnny Knoxville is his favorite actor. Yeah, that's good. So now we got this. We could easily see that Johnny Knoxville's transforming, much like all the other people that haven't been fed their daily dose of porn. And, like I said, challenge yourself. Put things in your cartoons or try your writing and branch out. If you don't write comedy, try writing something funny. If you don't write mystery, try writing something like that into a cartoon to test yourself. I mean, we don't consider ourselves comedians, although Brett has a stand-up set coming in 2 weeks, little 3-minute set.
Yep. Be on the lookout,
go watch
dude.
them. Pete Mitchell's, baby.
Be on the lookout.
Be on the lookout. But we try to, we push ourselves a little bit. So this is one of the things where we push ourselves. There you go. Not you, Johnny. It's beautiful. So the other thing is we want to ramp up the stakes for the overall universe. So right now we have stakes on a personal level. We're seeing that people are turning into these things. But on a world level, let's just give me a galaxy view, and it's just like a planet looks like it's being sucked into a dirty butthole.
Well, wait. How about this? I feel like there needs to be some reason why the vortex opens. Like, how about like it's not just even. Maybe it's not even just humans. Then like all living creatures, and then the world it just like starts like caving in itself, and then the porthole opens.
Yes,
so
I like that.
Maybe there's like a plant. Oh, come on, you fucker!
I don't think I've ever seen Brett draw vegetation before.
Yeah,
so
I don't.
This is going to be very interesting. Yes, the world definitely needs to be caving in on itself because of this situation, which, again, like we mentioned in the previous episode, we want all these things connected to porn because in the real world, they're not. But in this world, pornography consumption fuels everything. Ooh, yeah. So, yeah, even the plants are turning into, like, these hellish creatures. Love it. It's beautiful. So, Brett, that's actually pretty fucking good. I'd get that tattooed on me.
I wouldn't. Don't do it.
That's gonna be my life thing.
Please
is get you to draw a doodle, and I'm gonna get it tattooed on me.
As soon as when a Toon or when a cookbook reaches 1 million views, you'll get that cartoon tattooed on you.
Dude, I'd settle for 100.
We're nowhere even near there.
You get 100 views, get it tattooed on me.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Okay, so you said.
Oh yeah. So then the world is so we'll just draw like a.
Because we're showing that this is affecting all things, not just humans. Correct?
So we'll say like the world just starts like caving in itself, and like a porthole or like a.
It's turning into a butthole.
Yeah, the world is literally creating its own a butthole.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Looks like a fat tomato. Like that's good. Show like a couple stars or something that are getting sucked into that thing. Ooh, yeah, like it. Just perfect. And so here's where I kind of was thinking a little outside the box. And since I mentioned that John comes from a line of gatekeepers, we want him to get that aha moment. Like he remembers something.
Okay.
That his father told him, which is going to obviously drive the narrative. And I think it should be something where he remembers his father's last words And it's something stupid like
This is so beyond the original scope of him just
like,
sitting at the computer trying to put porn in there. But okay. Let me quickly remember my dead father's words.
last words.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's something, it's gonna be stupid, like plug and unplug the motor, you boob. Or just something. Yeah. What is something that what is in relation to this, what I'm trying to get at is, what is one stupid phrase that you could remember that will click on the light bulb that makes you think of, oh shit, yeah, I gotta fucking find the modem and unplug and plug it back in. Like,
Oh, dude, I don't know.
because much like any cartoon that you do, our hero has to. This is him crossing the river. This is him realizing something, where then he could solve the initial problem that began at the very beginning. This is him finding the Sword of Power. This is him becoming a Super Saiyan. This is him realizing, what he needs to defeat the villain.
Okay, well, if I'm being honest, I feel like that came out of nowhere, of him thinking, like, well, let me remember what my father said. Like, and if you want to lean on the like long line of gatekeepers, I feel like that should have been introduced somewhere, or even like if it's being introduced now, I feel like it needs to be a little bit more organic, because a world, like the world is literally eating itself right now, and
Yeah.
he's thinking like, let me just think about what my dad just said. I feel like it's a little it jumps the gun. Like, I feel like we need something like a catalyst or something. I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say he's thinking about what his dad told him. It just like something just clicks in his mind, and he's like, "Oh yeah, he said this." Like the modem. He's not just sitting there being like, "What did my dad say?"
Okay,
like he's more so like it. He's seeing all this destruction, and then it like light bulb goes off.
Yeah, but wait. So what? I'm challenging you here a little bit.
Okay.
What? So what? He plugs his modem back in, and the world stops devouring himself. Like there was no, there wasn't a stake that he like a lesson that he learned in that. Like. Remember what your father said. It's not really that great of a lesson,
You're right. The way that I was envisioning this is like his home starts being like ripped away. So he's like hanging onto the wall, and his home's being ripped away. And
Okay, well,
like,
wait. I like that. Let me just.
Yeah, we could. So this is also a thing that we've mentioned in previous cookbooks and previous stories. If you get to a point where you can't figure out what goes next, but you have other ideas, jot them down, write them, draw them out. So in this situation, we haven't figured out the way to turn the light bulb on, but we do know what happens after the light bulb is already turned on. So in this case, as I mentioned, I see him, his home's being ripped apart. He's like getting sucked into the anus vortex, and he's like trying to claw his way to turn on the internet or get porn back into the hands of people. Yeah, that's good. Brett's got our hero John, looks like he's being pulled, stretched thin. While we're here, don't forget, if this is your first time to the Cartoon Cookbook, be sure and like, follow, subscribe. We hope you like all the videos here. Head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/wearethetelevision. Got a whole bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff, music, artwork, animatics, unreleased Toon Talk TVs. You could even buy a mug there that you could drink your coffee in. It's fucking amazing. Go check that out. But now that we're back to this, yes, that's good, Brett. That is fucking good. Brett's trying, you know, it looks like he's being sucked into the void. So this obviously is a scene that's going to be pushed a little bit forward. It's not necessarily following what we just saw, but this is a good scene that we can have show up later.
Well, I thought you said that the world, I mean, the portal just opened up, like the world is eating itself, like everything is getting sucked in it. So isn't this like where we're at right now, or no?
No.
Okay, what happened?
We still got to figure out the light bulb. What gets him to remember his father's last words?
Okay.
And you did make a good point about our hero needs to learn a lesson. He needs a little bit of growth. Maybe that's something that we missed at the very beginning. Like what? That's always how do you say it? Like if there's a situation where your hero comes in and let's say that the rule is don't get distracted. Like you're never supposed to get distracted. And our hero comes in and he forgets to do something because he's distracted by some titties that he saw across the street. The lesson is don't even let titties distract you from your work. So, you get what I'm saying here?
Not really. The lesson of the story is don't let titties distract you from your work. Yeah. Dude, can we just make that the lesson of this for some reason? Here,
that's good enough with me.
Yeah. How do we make that the lesson of this story?
I mean, that's kind of what I was trying to get.
All right, how about he gets sucked into the portal and then he's in a new land and someone says, "John, remember what your father said. Don't let titties distract you from..."
that is actually pretty good. In your book that you wrote, you have that little shaman wizard, three-eyed wizard that comes.
Yeah.
If you haven't, you should check out Brett's book. Whatever, man. You could find the link
below.
Yeah. So maybe he does get sucked into this portal, and he kind of meets that little shaman or a version of that shaman guy that tells him, "Don't let titties distract you from your work."
Yeah.
And in this instance, what distracted him was the titties from noticing that the modem needed to be clicked on or changed or fucking something like that.
I feel like I should be getting better at drawing, like with all the every week doing these, but I feel like I'm getting worse for some reason. I don't like these.
It's the sobriety, dude. It's the sobriety.
I need maybe someone else will draw one of these weeks, you know? I kind of want to just sit back and do a story, you know?
What about you, Al? You want to do some drawing one of these days?
God.
This fucking guy.
Actually,
tits on a log, dude.
Yeah,
tits on a log. That's my saying. I say that all the time.
I don't even know what this is. He got sucked in the portal. Sure.
He got sucked in the portal. He's gonna meet this shaman dude that's gonna give him the knowledge that he seeks to save the world.
Well, does it even have to be like if he's in the portal? I feel like it doesn't even have to be like an actual being. Like he could just be like in like space, like nothingness, and have like just like the voice of God telling this to him. You know,
that's pretty good. That's pretty good too. I like that.
So
it's like that. Yeah, just draw that like he's just floating in space, and he hears the voice. Ooh, no. Some of the lore that I said behind this is I don't know if I should tell you or if I should keep that to myself for something later.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah. So, but I do like the
unless
idea
it's organically coming.
It does. The word that you just mentioned, he hears the voice of the gods that tell him, "Don't let the titties distract you."
I mean, there were no titties though, too. So I like that we said that was the lesson, but we also
We could also work that into the earlier, so we could draw a scene that kind of fits that lesson in.
yeah.
We can work around things. Yes, it's beautiful. Love it. Perfect. Voice of God. Voice of a God, not the God, a God. Don't let. It's got to be a better word than titties. What's a better word? Don't let the bazookas distract you.
Yeah, sure. Don't let.
Don't let the bazookas distract you. This is a family-friendly show, so we try to not use.
And that's pretty
words
ominous because I have no idea what the fuck that means. All right.
And then we could show like he snaps back to. So he's got to get back into this world to be able to turn the internet back on, correct?
Yes. Yes. Oh, wait. I'm thinking.
This is one of those moments like in TV where the hero snaps back to reality and he actually hasn't been sucked into the portal.
What if he was sitting on the toilet jerking off to some titties and he fell asleep on the toilet mid-jerk? And
like this is all a dream, like a fruition.
yeah,
like
I hate waking up in the middle of a story and it's all a dream, but that's really the only thing I can think of right now. Like, how the fuck do we get back to this shit?
That's a good. I mean, I think that's pretty funny. That's a good way to do it. It's a cop out. It is
It's a total cop out.
Do we want to cop out on this one? I think it actually works if he's like on the shitter, but I don't know who fucking jerks it on the can. Other people out there,
I've jerked it on the can. I've jerked
let
it
us
on the
know
can.
in the comments if you've jerked it on the can before.
I've done that. I've been there.
Let us know in the comments if you've done that. Yes. And he realizes that instead of getting the internet back on, he realizes that he has to go like press enter to upload all the porn to all the computers. What are you drawing? He looks like a plant. I can't even describe to our viewers what you are drawing. Oh, now I see it. Now I see it. Now I see it. He's got his pants around his ankles. He's on the porcelain throne.
Yep.
Head's tilted back.
Like I said, my drawing's getting fucking worse, dude. It is really bad. I don't even know what the fuck.
That's good. Oh, yeah. Give him a massive donger. Like, he's packing some heat. Or you want to give him a little pebble. Like a little nubbin. Nubbin peen. You should have drawn it anatomically correct.
It's a backwards
We
vein.
can see that Brett has skills at drawing penises.
should I blur this out or what the fuck are we doing here?
No, full. No need to blur it out.
Okay, it's got a giant head. Oh my god, I hate this.
I like.
Hang on. It's gonna be tiny. It's gonna be tiny.
Family friendly show here. Family friendly. All right. So yes, this is this is him just snapping back to reality, and he's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I did this." He has to run, pants at the ankles, sprinting to his office to press enter and upload the porn to prevent the apocalypse. I like that. That's a full functioning story right there.
Yeah. Was this I wouldn't necessarily say we went much harder than any other cookbook.
Well, it's because we have something else in the works for this that you viewers will have to stay tuned for what we could do for this.
So he woke up mid-jerk, runs to the office with his pants down.
And he hits, the main thing is he hits enter on his computer, and the porn goes from not uploaded to uploaded, thus preventing the apocalypse. And the lesson learned is you don't let the titties distract you, or it could spell doom. And that's how you do a cartoon cookbook. You're so, Brett's got a hand drawn here.
That is the worst hand, dude, but it's going to be enter backwards so you can see it. Jesus Christ. Yeah, we definitely, hey, if there's any drawers out there that want to fucking do a cookbook, please let us know, because I feel like I am burnt out. Enter.
Perfect. And thus peace and destruction was avoided by the Gatekeeper.
Oh, great. Is that it? we're going to...
One final recap here.
Well,
we got our guy.
Yes. Tell the recap.
We got our guy, John Serger, who is a mid-mannered IT specialist. He's a descendant of a long line of gatekeepers. His father before him, that their sole duty is to upload porn to the world to prevent the apocalypse. They know that if porn is not given to humanity, their dark urges are let free. In this instance, John's internet goes out, and he has to figure out what the fuck's going on. He's aloof. This has never happened to him before. He realizes from a breaking news clip that the world is literally caving in on itself. Destruction is coming. His neighbor, Johnny Knoxville, knocks at the door, comes in, is telling him from one John to another, help me. Then our hero is being sucked into this wormhole. The end is near. He gets pulled in. And then as he floats through the cosmos, his father's last words echo through time. Don't let the bazookas distract you. Then we snap back to reality. John's actually asleep on the can from giving himself some self-pleasure.
Because he was looking at bazookas. He was letting the bazookas distract him.
Exactly.
Yes,
exactly. He was letting the bazookas distract him. And he gets up, presses enter, thus preventing the apocalypse. It's really a metaphor about self-care.
Yes.
I feel like.
I definitely hear that, dude. This
everything
really
has
a story about self-care, self-improvement, and work.
Yes.
Do better. Wow.
It's all the underlining things. Everything means something nowadays.
I love it, dude. Great story.
Anyhow, that's it's a good stopping point for this cookbook. Again, if you're new here, like, follow, and subscribe. Go check out the part 1 of the Gatekeeper. Check out the Patreon, patreon.com/We Are The Television. Go get a mug. Go get a mug. Go do something cool with your life. If you're a drawer, hit us up in the comments.
Yeah.
Brett needs a break.
I do. I really do.
I'm getting mad, I'm getting mad.